on pole position, and Juan Mir got away well also. So did Nat.
Tried to tough it out with Espargaro into the first corner. Espargaro has the advantage. Almost contact there between Nates.
Here comes Maverick Vinales. God, he's got a hell of a lot of work to do from there. Good start for Fabio Quartararo, by the way.
Brilliant start, as we just mentioned by Oliveira. He's gained 3 spots, got himself right into the early podium battle. Team Mir then onto the podium places already.
Brilliant. Suzuki second and third. Espargaro with the dreams. Oh, someone's got down. Who is that? Who is that?
It's Quartararo! Fabio Quartararo and Fabio Quartararo's World Championship dreams in tatters on the first lap. In
twists and turns. Are we going to see in 2020? We need to see what happened there.
At the front, Espargaro from pole will lead over the line. His brother Aleix Espargaro has been caught up in that early trial. Oliveira has been brilliant. Already gained 4 places, 8th to 4th.
Let's have a look and see what's happened here then. He was going up the inside of Franco Morbidelli. I don't think there was any contact.
There was no contact. No contact whatsoever. They both rode down in the gravel together, but in separate incidents in the same corner. Can you believe this?
For this weekend, it shows you that Quartararo, as a result, as it stands, would be 30 points
with 2 Suzukis in both Aragon races.
He leads this Grand Prix ahead of Espargaro, and will Mir now try to pounce? He will not want to let
pole big time. Now then, Juan Mir trying to run that tight inside line. The Suzuki turns on a sixpence to Espargaro.
How's the heart rate now? Davide Brivio, across the line we go. Anna Trins
looking really good. 32.764 from him on the last lap. One of the quickest men on the circuit, actually faster than
Juan Mir and Miguel. Suzuki KTM through 2 to 117, and it's climbing. Here comes Juan Mir. Mir is really good into turn 6. Does he give yourself a massive pat on the back?
That was a genius decision.
Here it is on board now with Juan Mir. Line on to get some more drive through. Miguel Oliveira is looking very, very good so far.
The edge grip clearly better than the KTM in that tight infield section. A bit further back, Morbidelli in a good battle with his protege.
Mir's going for it again. He's thought about that move once time, and he's just one ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. Across the line we go. It's
somebody else is down there in the background as
well.
That's
an Aprilia. Aprilia's. Well, it's got to be, because Aleix Espargaro is out. So it's Lorenzo Savadori in front of him. We know how often he struggles in group scenarios. Maverick Vinales, 132.54. Fabio Quartararo behind him, of course, but Quartararo on the deck at turn 8 on lap 1. You may not know what's happening so strong at the end of races. It bodes well that they are currently in first and third. And Juan Mir at the moment wins.
He's got a problem himself, though, hasn't he, Mir? Because Oliveira is swarming all over his rear tyre.
Here comes Mir. He's on the inside.
Sixpence through turns 10 and 11. Binder takes his long lap penalty there at the top of your picture. Simon, you've got...
And he's doing really close to the same times as the fastest guys. It could work.
It could work just where they wanted to be, Steve, at this stage of the race. They know that their tyres generally, in all kinds, get the power to the ground without tearing up rear tyres. Now, this is a problem for the likes of Espargaro.
This move then from Aleix Espargaro and Fabio Quartararo. No contact made whatsoever. Got his move wrong. That is so bizarre. Looked like the crash that we saw in Le Mans that time.
Dovizioso. Was that the moment when Fabio Quartararo surrendered the 2020 MotoGP way right now? Because if Rossi's got more mechanical problems, can it get any worse for Yamaha? From hell, weeks to forget. Well, that definitely is what Yamaha falls into. What mechanical problems have dragged on into this weekend, with constructor points, team points taken off Monster Energy Yamaha.
Shoulders here with the hard front, hard rear. Mir, fastest lap of the race at 32.059, is in control of this MotoGP World Championship. They're looking very, very good in the early stages here. The
Ricardo Tormo circuit venue, set Asia Banal in 2001.
Matt, he's just set the fastest lap of the race. He's the only rider in the 31s.
Well, he's quite fortunate to be Kenny, the Italian. He's down the dumps at turn 2. Quartararo, in some respects, a little bit fortunate to be back in the race. You've got to take your hat off to Fabio Quartararo, because that's a couple of tenths quicker than what the Suzuki boys are operating at right now.
It's so far this year. Cal Crutchlow's now crashed out. The LCR Honda rider, hopefully he's okay, because Vinales, he's now moved into points position as a result of that.
So Cal Crutchlow's race is over. Alex Rins still making the headway at the front of this. Steady at the moment. I don't think it'll be too steady in about 20 laps time, though.
Espargaro's regrouped. To keep a really beady eye on in this race is Taka Nakagami. The reason I say that is because he's notoriously...
Quartararo then trying to salvage some points at the end of what's been a bitterly disappointing day. So race right now is Fabio Quartararo. 14 seconds he is behind Maverick Vinales, who's directly ahead of him.
We saw the strength of Suzuki's and KTM's in Austria, didn't we?
Nakagami and Zarco, they're coming back into contention. Franco
Mormaze, hopefully for his sake, it's not too late. He said he was going to take it steady to get heat into the tyres. Well, he can't be in touch with these top 3 or 4 riders. Look, there's a lot of time to go, and he's going through on Franco Morbidelli. They're ahead of Morbidelli. He has.
Yeah, this is more trouble coming the way of Yamaha as well. What a forgets pressure on the likes of Dovi and Marquez.
Look at the live championship standings right now.
Well, they just cannot see a scenario. Yes, we've had so many twists and turns, more than Spaghetti Junction. I just think he's far, far too good to let himself let the pressure get to him and lose with the hard front, hard rear.
Alex Marquez is now closing in on him, the Repsol Honda rider, and behind Marquez Rins. What a bizarre scenario 2020 has been for Suzuki. In the winter tests, they looked so, came back to 10th, but we thought, well, that's his championship over. Likewise, Juan Mir, DNF.
Yeah, they're hammering it in Hamamatsu, aren't they, at the moment, that's for sure. Alex Rins, he revenge, and in doing so, take his first ever MotoGP victory. Alex Rins normally
to the last lap, with Mir in second behind Rins to see what he would do, because 27-point lead. Who wants that Grand Prix victory?
And at the moment, he looks quite comfortable because Polispargo on the go over half a second now, back of Juan Mir. Polispargo by no means running a slow pace. He's actually
Johan Zarco, as ever, doing a sterling job on the Sponsorama Racing Ducati. Those 2 riders there, Nakagami and
Jack Miller, has been able to gap Franco Morbidelli. Morbidelli now has got more BDS World Champions in Moto2, Morbidelli and Marquez.
The virtual fan wall, there's some tense face, but to take the positives out of it, at least he's okay, but it will be interesting.
More seemingly reliability problems for Yamaha, mounting problems for the Iwata factory. Humbling and humiliating 7 days or so for Yamaha, to say the least.
Only 4 riders went, Quartararo and Vinales. Exceeding track limits there as Quartararo, and of course the 2 Suzukis out front. Quartararo here at the moment, points. Here is Alex Rins on for what would be 70 points from 75. That's Lorenzo Savadori just sitting up and allowing riders
starting to ask big questions of Polispargo. The gap between Mir and Pol in third is up to...
Onto the home straight we go once more. There's still a long way to go.
You've got a fast Mir in his place. He will not want to let Juan Mir win that first Grand Prix. Vice versa, the incentive for battle raging between this pair.
Rather interestingly, Oliveira and Polispargo, who look like they've been cut adrift.
Yeah, and of course we keep saying how good the Suzukis are. They are the favourites to perhaps manage the tyres better, but Suzuki have called it wrong, where they can't rely on that sweet handling GSX-R to get them out
of this from Juan Mir. Polispargo in third. And then it's Oliveira and Nakagami. A 32.6 last time around. It's 6/10 slower than the leaders. Morbidelli's dropped another place.
Yeah, what a dismal day so far for Petronas Yamaha SRT. It's been such a more in 2020 MotoGP than the Malaysian back squad, but it's all going horribly wrong, just at the wrong time.
2 ahead of him. Juan Mir mapping 2. Now, is that, we've seen that a few times, both of those races. Polispargo is catching the 2 Suzukis here.
Polispargo is riding out. Rossi. Simon, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I just spoke to Lynn Jarvis. He let us know that Fallon cut out. He said no electronic warning lights, no blown engine. The mechanic...
For Yamaha, but at least it doesn't sound like it's an engine. It's another place lost for Franco Morbidelli. Andrea De Vito.
It's a bit of a timid surrender, this, isn't it, by Petronas Yamaha SRT in the fight for the championship. The very first lap.
On board with the World Championship leader, now looking back from his team lead for Mir going into the Grand Prix of Valencia here next week.
Do you know what? You've got to give Alex Rins a lot of Mirror Bay. That gap has been about 0.2 of a second for such a long time. They just keep
again taking a 10th or 2 out of Johan Zarco in the battle for 6th.
Morbidelli's pace has just dropped off a cliff. He's in the 33s now. What's he got to Petrucci? Can he be able to hang on to a place in the top 10? But not the afternoon that he was anticipating at all.
He's out front, on board with Mir. This is where they're so strong. Their corner speed
is a real test as well of Mir's, or where his risk and reward ratio is sitting right now of the world champion. How much risk is he going to be willing to take to try and secure that precious, increasing his lead to 27 in the World Championship with just 2 to go. It's going to be fascinating to see.
Now, what's happened here? There's something else just to put into the equation for Joan Mir. Alex Rins, and it's his teammate. And what's rule number 1? Always beat your teammate. So yeah, it will be really stages. 31.9 from Alex Rins, his personal best,
working in perfect harmony with that factory Suzuki. He's so silky smooth, so pressed at the moment, Alex Rins.
It's when things are going well, he looks so elegant on that Suzuki. He really, for Fabio Quartararo. Miguel Oliveira is losing ground in the background there. He's falling.
Nakagami as well, as he's not been able to find safe passage through on Oliveira. So while Miguel Oliveira's been getting
slightly faster than Rins, and they still cannot shrug off Pol Espargaro. 32.111th. He's chasing down Morbidelli. But here is Policcio. Really close to Rins on this lap, Matt. Really close. Is there a move coming here from Joan Mir? Get to flick over and see what the heart rate's like on when we get to the start-finish straight of Davide Brivio if they get any closer. We're at the halfway point of this European Grand Prix.
A little bit hot there, wasn't he, into the first corner? That's cost him a bit of crucial time.
Eager to stay in contention.
Nothing more he can do. He'll be able to go to bed tonight if he doesn't get through on these Suzukis and sleep well, going well up.
As they make way around and Nakagami's gone through. So Nakagami is up into 4th place. Tito Rabat's about to be overtaken again by Oliveira.
Yeah, well, that'll be the last thing he needs for Oliveira to sweep straight.
Through turn 2, it's as you were with these 3 riders.
Bishop charge as well. Mathematically, he'll still be a contender, but realistically, it's looking very
1-2 for Suzuki here as well. We've seen some parties and celebrations so far this season with this.
And back in those days, it was the likes of Randy Mamola, who I'm sure is watching back at home. If you are, mate, Obari, I believe, Hockenheim in 1982, the last time that happened.
Wow, that is a long time ago. Can't watch as normal. 4th place for Nakagami. As it stands, he's not made any inroads on Pol Espargaro to turn 14. So is there a move coming? Across the line for Rins. Mir
hooked up better at the final corner than Pol Espargaro. Accelerate, brilliant braking stability. Pol Espargaro is awesome on the brakes into the first corner.
So what absolutely love this, because it's such a chess match. What you're looking at here are the 2 Suzuki boys. That man, he could just cruise home behind Alex Rins and take a brilliant second and extend his championship lead all weekend. He has got his eyes on the prize, and despite the pressures of being the world championship leader, he's
made the move.
It's happened.
Turn
Mir
11
leads.
11 laps to go at turn 11, and he's made that pace to break away from his arch rival and teammate. Are we staring down the barrel of the GP winless since Sepang Moto3 in 2017? But he's hit the front.
Brilliant stuff. Can he now make a break away from Alex Rins? I was about to say that when he hasn't got Marquez does.
Absolutely.
He doesn't need to do it. The door was left wide open there.
Rins got it hot, didn't he? Take all the space. It was a mistake by Alex Rins, wasn't it? He was out on the curbs coming in between turn. Davide Brivio is still just going greyer by the second.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, there's another 10 laps to go.
He finds some way to retaliate. The live champion is just getting better and better and better for Joan Mir in the championship. And then Fabio Quartararo, Maverick Vinales and Andrea Dovizioso, well, they're going to be a miracle.
It's astonishing. That's a hand and a half on the MotoGP World Championship.
Well, he came into this race, Steve, 14 on Prix. A key 9 or 10 laps or so here in Valencia, because they are creeping. Junior was Suzuki's last world champ back in 2000, and they've never been closer. They've never fought for it.
Well, Joan Mir, still plenty of time left in this race, but Mir now trying to check out. He's had justice. This will be justice for Styria when he really should have won that Grand Prix. He was cruising away miles an hour in the first corner. Had that not happened, well, Joan Mir was going to already be a MotoGP Grand Prix winner for the very first time. It's up to half a second now, back to Alex Rins, but clear line for the number 36, which will just add to the stress of Davide Brivio, but he looks so...
Mir over the line now. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. What a performance it is by Joan Mir. Side of Zarco into the first corner. That's for 6th place, but what a lap that was by a cycle on the planet. It can keep gripping its tyres for the last third of these kind. Absolutely awesome.
Simon, I've just got to come to you quickly about this, because with the pressures of leading the world champion,
And for a long time, Stephen, I feel a lump in my throat watching him, on his way. These guys are so good at feeling the limit, they're all on that edge. And
as well over Alex Rins. Yeah, at the moment, Rins has got nothing for. Rins will be hoping now that Mia's going to hit some kind of tyre trouble, which you don't hear us. We might be just talking about who's going to fight for second in the World Championship. Well, it was all pointing to right now. Joan Mir could be crowned MotoGP World Champion right here in Valencia. But richly deserved their work in the winter. Sylvain Ginterly being one of them, the test rider as well, who will be loving what he's seeing at this moment. As things stands, the likes of Ken Kawauchi and Davide Brivio are going to be launched into the sky. Not been able to return home since mid-July, pre-Jerez. So they've really out. I'm getting a bit nervy watching it myself, to be quite honest. I'm going to have to take a layer off in a minute. Don't worry, I've got to go for the hard front for Jack Miller. He's not been able to match this pace and close the gap down. The line is now 8/10 of a second. There's another 31.9 for Joan Mir. Just marvellous. Pol Espargaro hanging on in there quite brilliantly. He was slightly faster on that last circuit. Jack Miller behind him once more. These two Ducatis going at it. France haven't had a defender that good since lane start as well. Very soon, if he has to break into a 6 engine, they're in all the mixed conditions, not having chance to dial in a dry setup, and then coming into this race as a rookie, feather in the cap for the young Marquez.
And Brad Binder, who's not that far behind Dovizioso, the battle for the Ortley, having taken a penalty loop, Brad Binder is in 10th.
Yeah, quality ride that. Maverick Vinales, 14th place.
It's a second. The gap is a second now for Joan Mir with 5 laps to go. It's a third.
Garmy. He's just on a 32.062, and Brad Binder, Steve just mentioned him. Brad Binder in a very pensive and apprehensive Davide Brivio.
2020, 12 races.
Oh, goodness me.
What is happening? Got every chance of causing more damage to Andrea Dovizioso, and then crucially, here you can see
9 different winners. That would tie 2016, wouldn't it? And that was the previous highest tally for different winners, and double figures this year. That would be pretty fitting, wouldn't it? The way 2020 has gone so far.
You can keep your eye in 8th, Dovi 9th, and then behind them, Brad Binder, the fastest man on the circuit.
Binder's the tension right now, isn't it? He doesn't need any more incentive. He's fighting for that battle with Alex Marquez.
Oh, Marquez has gone down!
He nearly took out Dovi as well there.
He really nearly
inches in that one. That would have just about summed up Andrea Dovizioso's look in 2020 as well, if he'd have been clattered into by Marquez. Rookie of the year in the hands of Andrea Dovizioso. He breezes on by Alex Marquez.
Oh, Marquez has gone down!
He nearly took out Dovi as well there.
He really nearly.
He's been untouchable so far today, and he's just stretching that lead. It started this lap 1.2, then it's
from Joan Mir here in Valencia under the most intense any dry track time. How has he been able to deliver consistency like that?
Well, he's really felt the press astonishing.
Deserves every accolade he gets, Joan Mir, the GP. He's just been a force. Absolute force.
Yeah, this about the man who could find the consistency. Joan Mir has stepped up and been that man.
The podium. As Davide Brivio just go, and his Suzuki team, if things stay the way they are, 1-2 on circuit, 1-2 in the World Championship, it would be.
Absolutely. They returned to the MotoGP World Championship in 2015 with Maverick Vinales and Aleix Espargaro champions in 2020. 2 laps to go then now for Joan Mir. His advantage, Pol Espargaro bay in 3rd.
8 kilometres left for Joan Mir.
And he's been sensational. There's no other words to describe it. We need to grab the thesaurus to find words to describe this performance.
He's just dropped off the cliff in terms of his lap times, and here comes Binder as well. So Binder, for having ride from Brad Binder, he's taken a penalty loop, ladies and gentlemen.
Crucial points as well, of course, in the battles be rookie Binder. They're desperate to win that prize. Mir's gone here. It's his to lose.
Pol Espargaro will have to wait another round to try and find that crucial victory, but he'll be very important next week. And you do feel as well, just something else to take into consideration, if Mir does win here, he might not. He's up to 7th, and we start the final lap of the race. Just 4 kilometres left for Joan Mir to do.
the crew chief for Juan Mir, but this has been just some show.
Turn 1 and 3, 11 corners away from the biggest moment of his Grand Prix career so far.
They are being ridden to perfection around this Valencia circuit, and their leading man in the world like a marathon right now.
And this is a special, special feeling. He's going to be able to put to bed all the talk about the sweat. He won't care. The heart rate monitor will be going off the scale. He won't care because Suzuki are on course for a
boys here in blue. In the background, it looks like third and fourth are going to pretty much stay the same. There's just the last scene 82, and there's just one corner left now for Juan Mir. It looks like the title's going in one direction. Who wins here in Valencia and takes complete control of since 1982. It's third for Pol Espargaro, fourth for Nakagami, and fifth for Oliver. What?
Celebrations are going to get underway. Big star now for the Suzuki team. 1-2 for them.
For Suzuki, unbelievable.
Celebrations are going to get mere formality for Mir now that he's going to be crowned world champion in 2020. Fabio Quartararo limps home in second place. This week for Mir here in Valencia 2. 37 points. Juan Mir leads Fabio Quartararo. The gap coming into this 20.
Two different teams, mechanics in the paddock, not Suzuki, have told me Suzuki's a great team. It's managed well from the top.
Review, he deserves everything he gets, and there's some dejection here. The highs and lows of motorsport, ladies and gentlemen, encapsulated here today.
And it could all be over this time in 7 days' time. Juan Mir very much in the ascendancy now. Surely it's the time Suzuki had a 1-2 in the Premier class. The virtual fan wall, well, the fans all around the world, they certainly appreciated that. The Suzuki fans, well, they'll be absolutely spot on.
Oh, goodness me. Take the cameras out of this garage, please. Juan Mir's team. By the way, this is Juan Mir's first win in 3 years.
Yeah.
Sepang 2017 in Moto3.
Good race today. We knew we are fast here, but that he can translate so well in a very good race. 7. He did the fastest lap in the race and super happy. And Miguel a solid race. So 3 KTMs in the top.
Ricci in 10th. Look at that smile.
When that young man came to Phillip Island, Pol Espargaro on the podium. Great job by him from pole position, pole to the podium. Doesn't really get much better than championship contention. But here is, for the very first time in MotoGP, Juan Mir coming brink and becoming Suzuki's first MotoGP world champion since 2000, American Kenny Roberts Jr. 2013. Josep Miquel Moya has the honour of handing over the Constructor Prize. Podium 5th in the MotoGP World Championship. He's certainly bowing out of KTM in some style. 3rd from here now will be our 2020 MotoGP World Champion.